Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu The Stanley Parable. Ein neues Let's Play auf meinem Kanal. Ich weiß nicht viel über das Spiel, ich weiß nur, dass uns die Geschichte von Stanley erzählt wird. Wir Stanley spielen und wir uns aussuchen können, ob wir das Spiel so spielen, dass wir der Geschichte folgen oder halt genau das Gegenteil tun. Mehr weiß ich nicht. Mehr habe ich jetzt gerade auch nicht zu sagen, deswegen würde ich sagen, legen wir doch einfach mal los. Oder? Machen wir.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Das Spiel geht los. Wir sind Stanley. Und ich würde sagen, da wir uns aussuchen können, ob wir der Geschichte so folgen, wie sie uns erzählt wird oder nicht, würde ich sagen, wir fangen so an, dass wir wirklich das machen, was uns halt gesagt wird. Und dann sehen wir weiter. Ja. Kann ich irgendwas machen? Oh.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Was ist da los? Ah, die Tür ist wieder offen. Okay. Kann ich hier irgendwo rein?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Was ist hier passiert? Schauen wir doch einfach mal. Ich weiß nicht mehr so lang. Ich laufe einfach herum. Lauf herum.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On his left. Okay. Bin mal gespannt, was passiert, wenn wir genau das machen, was uns gesagt wird. Hallo?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Who moved my desk? Na gut. Hä? Hä, was das? Warum ist das? Was? What is hot? Du bist hot. Was? Gut. Gehen wir mal weiter hier.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Na gut. Gehen wir mal nach oben. Machen wir das mal. Oh, sieht schön aus. Hier will ich wohnen. Bitte. Kann ich hier wohnen? Darf ich hier einziehen? Bitte, bitte.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Random buttons.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Mach auf. Wie? Mach auf? Ja, mach. Oh. Na gut. Hier ist ein bisschen gruselig. Nicht mehr so schön hier. Bin hier mal gespannt. Ach, muss ich ja drauf drücken. Ah, okay. Entschuldigung. Loading, 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 loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ja. So gemütlich sieht es jetzt nicht mehr aus.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind Control Facility. Escape. Hä, warum denn Escape? Ja, ganz ehrlich, ich würde lieber da reingehen, als diesen langen Gang entlang zu laufen. Denke ich jedenfalls. Es sieht voll normal aus hier.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh. Ich muss weiterlaufen, ja? Okay. Das erinnert mich so ein bisschen an Mystery Castle im Phantasialand. Nee. Kameras. Was ist hier? Nichts. Na gut, drück ich drauf.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Viel zu hell.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay. Schon gruselig. Bestimmt ein bisschen Geld gekostet hier. Ein bisschen. Aufzug. Wo?
This mind control facility. It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No.
Gar nicht
he
naiv.
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Once and for all. Was soll ich machen? Ich habe jetzt gerade irgendwie nicht zugehört. Ich war so fasziniert von den bunten Knöpfen. Mann. War jetzt wieder doof von mir, ne? Ja. Knöpfe. Ich habe jetzt echt nicht zugehört. Was müssen wir jetzt machen? Hier. Ist das richtig? Tut sich was? Nee, ich glaube nicht. Der ist doch leise, der Typ. Muss ich nach da oben? Oh, muss ich die nach der Reihenfolge drücken? Wo ist denn die 1? Numero... Oh, da. Numero 1. 1. 2. Wo ist die 3? Sag mal. Wo? Ich bin voll blind. Was ist das? Das ist ausgeschaltet. Brauche ich nicht. Und, hä? War die... Achso, ich muss das ja aktivieren, nehme ich an, ne? Wofür ist der rote Knopf? Nee. Da ist noch eine Zahl. Die 3. 3. Da oben ist die 4. Das habe ich schon von weitem gesehen. Warum rede ich heute so blöd? Liegt vielleicht daran, dass ich so gute Laune habe. Ich habe heute meine Zwischenprüfung geschrieben. Die war so locker. Das war so Babykram. Ja. Alter. Was ist los mit mir? Jetzt drücke ich die 5. Obwohl ich die 5 ja auch schon gedrückt habe, ne? 5. Und jetzt gehe ich mal zu dem roten Knopf, weil der ist rot. Tut sich nichts. Was mache ich denn jetzt? Ich gehe jetzt einfach hier rein. Der redet doch jetzt bestimmt wieder mit mir. Mein controls idle awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
War das umsonst, dass ich die ganzen Knöpfe gedrückt habe?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Ich habe schon wieder nicht zugehört. Ich sollte ausdrücken.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can
Mach aus.
You were
Mach doch aus.
go. Turn the controls off and
Okay.
leave.
Okay.
If you want to throw my story off track,
Mama.
you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say...
Mach aus.
2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Ich glaube, ich habe Scheiße gebaut.
You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Ja, Denise.
I barely know where to start.
Das passiert, wenn du...
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
Echt mal...
I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the
Geht das
machine.
hier
I
auf?
set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Bringt das was, wenn ich jetzt die Nummern drücke?
This version of events has been rather
Er redet so
amusing.
viel.
Watching
Kann
you
er mal
try to
leise
make
sein?
sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it
Wo war die
go.
3 da hinten, ne?
But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
Ich glaube, ich
You know
sterbe
what?
jetzt.
To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed
Ist
to
ja
be doing
gut,
right
jetzt hör auf
now?
mich zu
Or
mobben.
did you just assume when you saw that
Das war ein
timer that
Versehen.
something
Bin
in
nicht
this room was
zugehört.
capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won,
Ja.
solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley.
Orange.
You're in
Ja.
for quite a disappointment. But here's a
Grün.
spoiler.
Hier,
for you.
hier war niemand.
That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a
Ich fühle
tragedy.
mich gestresst.
You
Was
wanted
muss
to
ich denn
control this world,
machen?
that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life?
Nein.
Or will you let it go peacefully? Another
Ich sterbe
choice.
nicht, warte
Make
hier.
it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part
Mir
of
wird
the
schlecht.
And believe
Kannst
me,
du mal
I won't be
aufhören
laughing
hier?
at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say.
Ich glaube, ich sterbe jetzt. Ja, das war doof, ne? Würde ich sagen. Ich habe nicht zugehört. Passiert mir nicht zum ersten Mal. Wir machen es nochmal, würde ich sagen.